Do you have a team? Well, if so, stay tuned because today we are talking about the number one tool that you have in your tool belt that can actually help your team grow and you become an effective leader. Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny. This is where we share tips, tools, inspiration, everything that you need to become an effective, a confident, the boss that you were born to be. I'm Danny, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm a performance improvement consultant. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is just like a sports athlete has a coach by their side, guiding them, directing them, motivating them, holding them accountable to their goals and dreams. That is what I do for small businesses and entrepreneurs. I am that coach right alongside you, helping you develop the God-given skills that you have and make them shine bright. Well, today we are talking about the number one tool. All week on Coffee Chat, we've been talking about if you have a team, kind of some of the do's that you should be doing to have an effective team, to grow your team, to build your team, and to help you become a better leader, a better boss, a better team leader, if you want to call it. And a better CEO, right? Because we're all CEOs in this journey of entrepreneurship. So I want to talk about setting, I think we talked about setting expectations yesterday, but with setting expectations, there's another kind of component which is part of the three that I talked about on Monday. So if you know somebody that has a team or is building a team, please be sure and share this out with them. Tell them to come check out this number one tool that they need in their tool belts. So why and what, right? Well, feedback is what we talked about on Monday. We talked about three ways to support your team, and the third was feedback, right? So feedback is not just saying, and I think I said this on Monday, hey, great job. Yeah, that's a form of feedback. But if you want to be effective, and if you want effective feedback that is actually going to help your team member, or your client. So if you are a coach out there, listen up, because this is something that you must be doing if you are coaching clients. And if you are being coached by a particular coach right now, they should be doing this for you. And if they're not, make sure, go and tell them, hey, I want some feedback. Let me tell you why though. So what feedback does is it helps the individual, the person, get better at what they're doing. Okay, it simply is not just saying, hey, great job. Hey, great job is saying, that's a motivator, right? That's a yeah, you did it, great job. And that definitely needs to be included in how you interact with your team. But if you just say that, I don't know what was good about it. I don't know why that was good. I don't know what part of it was good. Was all of it good? Was this part of it good? What part was good about it? So when I was first becoming, kind of like a supervisor and starting to kind of help people, my particular manager would tell me, you're doing such a great job, Danny. Oh, you're a natural, Danny. You're doing great. And I was like, cool, yeah, thanks. But I didn't know what I was doing. And to be completely honest, I really wasn't that good. I mean, yes, I was motivating my team, and yes, I was there to help them, but I was not growing them. I was not building them up. I was not making them better. I was basically telling them what to do. That's really all I was doing. I was kind of babysitting, if you want to think about it. I didn't help them develop themselves. I didn't help them come up with the ideas, kind of build upon the skills that they already have. And that is what an effective leader does. An effective leader helps their team develop the skills that they have inside them. They help them come up with those great ideas, right? They're just not telling them what to do. They're helping them grow, okay? So that is why you're gonna want to provide feedback. You're gonna wanna use this number one tool, because we have many tools in our tool belts when we're leading a team. And this is one of them. And this is probably one of the most important that you should be doing on a regular, consistent basis, okay? So I want to talk about what you can give feedback on, because you're thinking, okay, cool, Danny, like now I know I should be providing some feedback to my team, and I learned how to set some expectations, but I really don't know what can I give feedback on, right? There's tons of things that you can give feedback on. So if you are in, let's look at this from 3 components. So if you are in, let's say, direct sales or MLM, any of those type of industries, then you have team members, right? You have people who are below you and who are below you, you know what I mean, who are your team members. And they're doing things all the time, whether it's writing emails to potential clients, whether it's posting on social media, whether it's actually hosting events. I know many of you, I know I did this when I was in direct sales, was, we would go to expos or we have a booth and we'd set up, or we'd have parties, we'd gather women together and have a party. And these are all things that they're doing that you can provide feedback on. Maybe they're doing a call with somebody and they're talking to them about the product, or they're emailing them about the product, and they're doing short videos on the product. You can provide feedback on that. You have the experience, right? You know what looks good, what sounds good. You know how to help them get better, because we don't learn this, right? We never learn how to do this. We just kind of figure it out sometimes. Well, you've already figured it out, or you at least have some knowledge that you can help them with. So those are all things that you can provide feedback on. Let's say you have a team. You've built a team, maybe you're a product or service-based business, and you've brought in people to help you, with different tasks and whatnot, right? Now they may be experts in their in their areas, right? They may be experts on maybe bringing in new people to your business, right? As far as from a social media standpoint, or they're really good at writing the content that goes on your blog, or they're really good at scheduling your appointments for you, whatever it might be, right? There's tons of things that we use, services that we could use, right? The way that you can provide feedback is simply on what they're doing. So if they're writing some social media posts, and you really you saw they need feedback, they need to know that you like what they're doing, or maybe some ideas or suggestions on how it could be even better, right? Letting people know how they're doing, where they stand, helps them get better, helps them make the tweaks that they need so that they can be even better, right? And let's say we're looking at it from another perspective. Let's look at it from, if you are a coach or you're coaching somebody, and you're helping them. Let's say I know there's a lot of women out there that help with mindset, or there's a lot of women out there, coaches, that are helping you get sales, right? Or helping you kind of take the next steps in the process for getting visible in your brand, right? So as you are doing things with them, as they're working with you in certain areas and aspects, you should be providing them feedback, right? You telling them, hey, your last post that I saw you write in that Facebook group, hey, this is what I liked about it, and here's where I could see some areas of suggestion, right? And I'm going to go through a format in just a second on how that should kind of flow, so that is really impacting them, where they're getting the most out of it, okay? So there's different ways that we can provide feedback, and there's are different aspects of what we could provide feedback on. But there's one kind of format that I am going to tell you guys about in just a second, because this format provides an opportunity for them, the person who you are coaching, to kind of develop themselves, to kind of have the light bulbs in their head and get better. So they're not relying on you for everything. They're not relying on you to come up with that next, Facebook Live a title, or, that next blog post, or, the next package that you're going to offer, the next program you're going to offer. It's going to be all about them, okay? So the way I look at this is, and this is something I learned many, many years ago, and I've used it for probably at least 15 years now, okay? So this is what you want to do. First off, you want to ask them. So, well, first, let's skip it back. You want to ask them, or you want to tell them, hey, I want to kind of give you some feedback on this, whatever it might be. So whether it's, hey, I want to help you out with your emails, or hey, I know you're doing an event next week, I want to go and support you and then provide you some feedback on it. The key here, again, like we talked about all week, is clear communication. Let them know that you're doing it. Don't just say, hey, yeah, I was watching that video you did the other day, and let me give you some feedback. No, let them know in advance. Hey, I want to watch your video, and I want to provide you feedback on it. Simple as that. And nobody should fear feedback, because feedback is not a bad thing. Feedback is a fabulous thing, right? So let me just... sorry about that. So I forgot to switch my camera today, and I just realized I didn't do it. So maybe later on in my 30-day challenge video, I'll do it. Sorry. So first off, you let them know that you're going to be providing them feedback on it. Second is you ask them what they like about what they did. So we're talking about here the positive aspects of what they did. What tends to happen is they'll want to go into what they did wrong, and it was horrible, and they totally sucked, and no. There's always things that they did good. They just can't see it yet. So you kind of have to help them kind of massage through what did they do good. And you want them to say it, okay? They need to discover it for themselves. You can help guide them a little bit. Say, well, hey, what about when you did this? And let them, and just be there as support, okay? But let them tell you what they liked about whatever it is that they did, or what they did well, or how they felt, that they felt good about, right? You want to keep it very positive. The next thing you want to do is, after they've kind of gotten some things out and they feel like, okay, yeah, these are some things that I did good, you're going to want to then go into, hey, okay, so here's some things that I saw that I thought were really good. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you're telling them the why, the what, and the why behind that. So I really liked it when you greeted every single person that walked up to your booth. You had a smile on your face, you stood up, you said your name, and you asked how they could help you. Now that feedback that I just said was very specific, right? I told them what they did, I told them how they did it, and I told them why. I did not tell them why it was effective. Let me tell you why it was effective. It was effective because you got everybody's attention and you began a conversation with them that led into potentially buying a product from you, right? Or potentially buying your service. You always want to fit those three components in there. What they did, how they did it, and how or why it was effective. Those are the three components that you must have whenever you're providing feedback to somebody. So this is kind of a little bit more of a formal type feedback. You can just do quick feedbacks that are in the form of hey, I really liked this. This is what I liked about it, and this is why I liked it, and so forth, right? This is kind of more of if you've actually observed kind of like the whole situation, and you've let them know and you're providing feedback to them. And this is something that I would recommend doing very consistently, if it's every week, every month, whatever, again, your team needs, okay? Your team member needs. So after you've kind of done that, you kind of want to sum up everything that they did good. Let them know about everything that they did good, right? Sum it all up, the things that they said and the things that you said. And it's best to have them sum it up for you. It helps them recall everything and make sure that they heard everything that you said, okay? The next thing you want to do is ask them, hey, so what would you do differently the next time you do that? Okay, listen to that. It's future focused. It is not, hey, you screwed up and what are you going to do to fix it? Because how does that feel? That feels horrible, right? You want to keep it future focused, which means we can't change the past. The past is the past. All we can do is focus on the future and make it even better, right? So ask them what they did and how what they did and how they could make it better. That's the key. Is if they say, I was horrible, I didn't talk to anybody, I just sat there, or, my energy was bad, like, okay. Well, let's see, how could we do that better next time, right? Keep it focused towards that, right? There's a lot of you helping them kind of reveal some things. And then the last component is you then. You then get to tell them those opportunities that you see for improvement. The opportunities where you see, hey, if you make this little shift, you can do this, or you can get better at this, or it'll be even more powerful if you do this. And so when you say that, it's, when you did this, an even more effective way to do it is to say this. Right? Or you can lead them into, how can you make this phrase even better, right? And let them kind of come up with some things. Again, the key here is to help them self-discover, right? They need to figure out what it is that they can do better and how they can do it. And you're just there to kind of guide them. That's what you're there to do. Okay, so that works in all three of those aspects of whether you're building a team, whether you have a team, or whether you're coaching somebody or somebody is coaching you. You want to make sure that that dialogue is happening. And again, it is a dialogue. It's not me just what I like to call throwing up on you, right? As your coach, I'm going to throw up on you, all these things. No, it's a dialogue between us. Okay, so the last and final thing is you kind of want to wrap that up again with the opportunities to do next time. Come up with a great action plan along what they're going to continue to do and then opportunities that they can to improve. Always come up with a nice action plan so they know specifically what it is that they need to do. And then, again, the clear expectations. And then last but not least, a follow-up time. When are you going to do this again? When are you going to meet with them again? When are you going to observe a call or an event that they're doing, right? Constantly lead them, guide them, show them, okay? So that is it for us today. That is the number one tool that you must use in your toolbox, in your tool belt, if you want to be an effective leader. So which one of these or any part of this that resonated with you, let me know below. I love to hear your thoughts, what you're thinking. This is something that I do with each and every one of my clients. I provide them feedback because feedback is key and it helps them discover themselves and their opportunities. So your action item for today is that I want you to take a look, if you are leading a team, take a look at where and when you have provided feedback to your team. And if you haven't, no worries, start doing it today, right? And think about those three components that you must have in that feedback is what it is they did, how they did it, and why it was effective, or how they could make it better, depending on what kind of feedback you're providing. If it's more in the continue to do this, or if it's in the area of, hey, this is an opportunity to improve. Because you should be providing feedback on both sides, not just one or the other. All right, that is it for us today. The announcements that I have for you today is if you have not joined the Empowered Women Achieving Success Facebook group, my free Facebook group, what are you doing? Come on over and join us. We are having some fun over there. I'm going to be doing a new masterclass next week. I'm going to put a poll out today to see what the ladies want to hear and want to know about. So come on over and be part of that. And if you haven't seen already, I am doing a Facebook challenge, 30 days of Facebook Live. So I started on Monday. Today is going to be day 4, and they're all kind of some random topics, which is great. They're short and sweet. I'm trying to keep them under 10 minutes. My goal is 5, but I love to talk. So come on over and see that. I would love to hear any ideas that you have or any suggestions or what you'd like me to talk about, again, for Coffee Chat or for this 30 days of Facebook Live. Leave a comment below, let me know, and have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I will see you all next week with, I believe we're talking about communication, so that should be fun. All right, bye everyone.